Hi, welcome to Speech Language with Miss Holly. Thanks for joining me for today's language video lesson. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to be taking a look at using context clues for vocabulary. So I wanted to say welcome, then we're going to review our strategies and practice this skill. So we can use these things called context clues to help us figure out the meaning of a word. So let's start by reviewing some vocabulary strategies. If you're reading a word, something that can be really helpful is just circling words that you might be unfamiliar with. This sentence here, John is always tardy, unlike his brother, who is always early. So if the word is tardy and we don't quite know what that means, we can circle that and then we can underline other words that give us clues. So we don't know what tardy is, but if he's unlike his brother, and his brother is always early, then we might use that information to take a guess. So if he's not early, then not early would probably mean the same thing as late. So that's our guess there using those context clues. And then we plug that word into the sentence, we check it, and see if it works. So John is always late, unlike his brother who is always early. Do you think that tardy and late could mean the same thing? Yeah, I think they could mean the same thing. So there are lots of different clues that we can use, and I like this visual because it kind of outlines how we can think about these clues. So the first thing, our thinking hat up here, we can think about what we know from our own experience to help us understand the word. We can also scope out the scene. So maybe the sentence has a definition or an example in the sentence. Then we can use that to figure out what it means. Also, sometimes we read a sentence, and even if we don't know what the word means, we just get a certain feeling from the sentence. So maybe we just have a feeling that the word is positive or it's negative, and that can be a really helpful clue. We can also take a closer look here and find synonyms, or words that mean the same thing, or we can find antonyms, and those are words that mean the opposite. And then this last part here, we can use our word smarts, and that's basically breaking a word into different parts, so words that have a part at the beginning, a prefix, an end, a suffix, or in the middle, which is a root word. And these are all different types of clues here that can help us figure out what a word means. So with that in mind, here are just some reminders of what those clues are, and now we're going to go ahead and put it into practice. Okay, so this first sentence here, I estimated there were 122 candies in the jar. My guess was right. So estimated, let's say that this is an unfamiliar word. I'm going to circle it. Estimated. Are there any clues in the sentence that I can underline? I think that the word guess is related to the word estimate. So I estimated there were 122 candies in the jar. What if I plugged this word up here? What if I said I guessed there were 122 candies in the jar? My guess was right. Does that seem like it would be a good fit? Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so now you can pause and you can practice some of these other words here if you want. All right, you can pause and practice, and when you're ready, we'll move on. All right, here's another example. A flock, or large group, of reporters is always gathering around the famous actor. So let's say maybe we don't know what the word flock means here. A flock. I'm thinking from my own experience, I might have heard this related to animals. That doesn't quite fit here, but maybe it's related. So a flock or large group of reporters is always gathering around the famous actor. Oh, I see a clue here. This seems like they're explaining what a flock is. Do you think a flock could mean the same thing as a large group? A large group of reporters is always gathering around the famous actor? Yeah, I think so too. So we figured out the meaning of that one. Okay, now you can pause, you can practice the other ones on this page, and when you're ready, we'll move on. All right, here's our next one. Will the snow ever cease? It feels like it will continue forever. So let's say this word cease here. Will it ever cease? Have I ever heard this word before? I'll see if I can use some clues in the sentence. Will the snow ever cease? It feels like it will continue forever. Oh, okay. So maybe I think this could be related. So I'm going to plug it in. Will the snow ever continue forever? It feels like it will continue forever. That doesn't quite feel right. So now I'm going to actually plug in the opposite of this, which is, instead of continuing forever, will it ever stop? Okay, I'm going to plug this in, see if it works. Will the snow ever stop? It feels like it will continue forever. Okay, that feels like a better fit. So the word cease means the same thing as stop. Will the snow ever stop? All right, now you can pause and practice the other words on this page. Got a few more. So let's start up here. The United States abolished or got rid of slavery in 1865. Can you find a clue in this sentence that helps us figure out the meaning of abolished? If you thought got rid of means the same thing as abolished, then you're right. This is our clue here to figure out the meaning. So to abolish something is to get rid of it. All right, now we're going down here. She was dissatisfied with her test score. Okay, she was dissatisfied with her test score. So we might get a feeling from this word. If somebody's dissatisfied from something, does that sound like a positive thing or a negative thing? If we don't know right away, we can always break down the word into parts. So if you're satisfied from something, like, oh, I was so satisfied after that meal, then that's a positive thing. But when we add this word at the beginning, dissatisfied, that makes it negative. That makes it the opposite. So if you're dissatisfied with the test score, you are not satisfied. You do not feel happy about it. So that's how we can find the clues from that word. I'll start by demonstrating this top one here, and you can try the bottom one. What do you aspire to be when you grow up? The teacher asked. Have you ever heard this word, aspire? Even if you haven't heard that word exactly, you might have heard this phrase before. What do you blank to be when you grow up? I'm thinking I've heard somebody ask me, what do you want to be when you grow up? Do you think that's a good guess here? What do you want to be when you grow up? I think these words mean the same thing. So to aspire to something is something that you want, something that you're hoping for. All right, now you can try this next one and move down when you're ready. All right, here's another one. The best way to describe Anna is ambitious. She works hard and is driven to succeed. Have you ever heard the word ambitious before? I can use some clues in the sentence to figure it out. She works hard and is driven to succeed. I think these are examples of what it means to be ambitious. So it's you work hard and you want to succeed. Those are clues for the word ambitious. All right, you can keep trying the other option here and move on when you're ready. Okay, here's our last one. Many famous antagonists, such as Captain Hook, Cruella de Vil, Ursula, Jafar, and Scar, are from Disney movies. So I'm looking at all these characters. We've got Hook, Cruella de Vil, Ursula, Jafar, and Scar. It sounds like they're listing these people as examples of antagonists. So we might think, what do they have in common? They're all villains. So they're all villains in these Disney movies. And they cause trouble for our heroes. So, So they cause trouble or cause problems for our heroes. All right. I'm going to keep scrolling down and you can continue to practice with the examples below. You can pause, try it on your own. All right, really nice work with these. Like I said, some of them might have felt a little easy, some of them might have felt pretty hard. That's okay. So what we worked on today was using context clues for our vocabulary and the way we can use different strategies to figure out the meaning of words. We can use this when we're reading, when we're listening to other people talk, all to help us understand more about the words that we're using. So really nice job, and I will see you next time.